Come on, got some better too?
A group of supercriminals are tasked by the government to serve as disposable soldiers on dangerous top-secret missions. The Good. This movie has a pretty good collection of fun characters. The principal actors in this movie do a good job showcasing each character's unique personality, based on both their abilities and their backstory. And Margot Robbie absolutely steals the show as Harley Quinn. She is everything this character is supposed to be. Wild, beautiful, crazy, playful, hilarious. She was my absolute favorite part of this movie. There are also some good side characters in this movie who aren't necessarily given a lot of the focus, but manage to get across what their characters are about with what little screen time they do have. Naturally, criminals are going to view the world through a bit of a different lens than normal people do. And this results in a movie with a sense of humor that is very cheeky and also kind of dark at some points, which, for this group of people, is entirely appropriate and very enjoyable. There are a couple of DC superheroes that make cameos in flashbacks during this movie. Nothing much to say about that, but it was neat to see them. The Iffy. Jared Leto is playing the Joker in this movie. There wasn't a whole lot of the Joker in this movie, and he didn't have impact on much during the plot except for Harley Quinn, namely her backstory. There were aspects of this performance that I liked and that I didn't like. When someone plays the Joker, the most important thing to me is that it is evident that they are insane. And something about Leto's performance just came across as if he was forcing the crazy a little too much, rather than just letting himself get lost in it and having fun with it. I think there are different ways to play this character, and that's been evident over the course of many years with many different interpretations of the character, so I'm gonna wait to see more before I say anything final. The movie essentially begins with Amanda Waller, an agent of the US government, pitching to the US government that she wants to assemble a team of very dangerous people who can do some good. This pitch includes details about each character, where they come from, and what their backstory is, and that is how we are introduced to these characters. Now, since that is how the Suicide Squad was originally assembled, I think it's good for the plot. I think it makes sense. On the flip side, I do think it's a little odd to do this for a movie instead of just having us see these characters and then just throw us right into the idea that Amanda Waller is putting a team together. Public service announcement: there is a post-credits scene in this movie. And I know because I missed it and my friend told me about it after the fact. I thought the DC movies weren't going to go down that road, but apparently they are now, so there you have it. Stay after the credits. The Bad. There are a few of the principal characters, members of the Suicide Squad, that aren't given very much individual screen time. And a whole lot of screen time is given to Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Under ordinary circumstances, I wouldn't complain. I said earlier I love Harley Quinn, and Will Smith is Will Smith, and I like Will Smith. But after a while, it did start to feel like they were hogging the spotlight and we just weren't getting quite as much of the other characters. There is some CGI in this movie, namely during the climax, that is bad. I think watching this movie is finally giving me the understanding of what people mean when they say bad CGI essentially makes it feel like it's pulled from a video game. That is very evident in this movie. There are also some noticeable holes in the story. Whether this is due to reshoots, rewrites, whatever. And while the plot doesn't necessarily hinge on these things, these are very noticeable things that the audience is going to have questions about. The verdict? This movie was not only funnier, but it had a lot more spirit in it than Batman v Superman or Man of Steel. It was a lot of fun, but there was also a noticeable tinge of darkness to it. I would say this is a good step in the right direction for DC, Warner Brothers produced films, but not in such a way that it feels like they're starting to copy Marvel, and I think that is a very good thing. This is Detective Steve, and I think Jared Leto's methods of getting into the mindset of the character of the Joker were crazier than what he actually did in his performance.